like it.
We got a special guest today.
Yes, we do.
Fermin Perez. Pleasure to be here.
All right. What we got going on? We happy for him.
Well, you gotta take that off.
Oh, look, he's still young.
I thought you know how to smoke cigars.
He's still young. He's still young. I know, because he used to smoke it until he glittered down.
Oh, hey, listen, he called me out all the time doing that. He really, that was, he had a pro tell me that. That's sad.
Well, I just have to stop it just in case the alarm went off.
Thank you. All right, what you got going on?
All right, welcome. So, Fermin, we wanted you to share with us just a few details if you can. We won't hold you long. But how long have you been in business, and what motivated you to get started?
Well, the reality is I'm kind of living the dream, because there's so many people that come up to me every day and say, man, I want to come up with my own cigar brand. I want to do all this stuff. And they haven't been able to do it, or they go out and they work with other people. And I've been able to kind of take the bull by the horns and actually go out there and make it myself. So I don't have long in the business. I have about 3 years. Now in November is going to be my 3rd year with the brand. We have about over 150 stores nationwide. We're in Puerto Rico. We're in the Cayman Islands, a couple other islands, and Vietnam as well.
Wow.
So we do all right,
Okay. And what's the cigar brand?
Cigar brand is actually my name. It's just the FP.
Okay.
They call it the Tesla, the Batman, the Superman, the whatever you want to call it. But when you see that nice logo, that's what it is.
Like it.
FP.
When he said Tesla and the fat man, I thought he was talking about me at
first. He's plugged in over there.
But yeah, so and when I look at it, like we talked the other day, when we were here last night talking about it, I think it's great. I think it's just dope that outside of people, most people say what they're gonna do or talk about what they're gonna do, and the way you say you went about it and went and found what you need to find to make it happen versus waiting for somebody else to do it.
That's a really nice looking hat.
I like it too.
I'm talking about seriously. Y'all gotta think. You know what I'm talking about? This is what I'm saying.
But
yeah, I think that's dope. That
he don't just bring knowledge.
Yeah, that's dope.
He bring gifts. I'm telling you, this is a man right here.
But I think that's dope because a lot of people get stuck on their dreams, or they either give up too soon, or just you know what I mean. If you need to keep going,
and this is inspiring. It truly is, because you know what I'm saying. When you see a person who started from nothing or whatever, and you done in a short time you say, but you think about where you say how many stores, that's a blessing. That made me feel like we could do something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're doing. Whether the platform is is talking about what he do, you know what I'm saying? We want to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And that's why we appreciate you sitting down and doing this with us or whatever, because hey man.
And it's always that when people say you can't do that, even with the podcast, like you said, it's like you got to prove people wrong. And you know what I mean? The same ones that talk about you, we want to work with you. So that's the thing. What else you got?
Okay. Do you invest in marketing for the brand?
I do. I think it's important to invest in marketing in the brand. I'll give you a little bit of my background. I've been in the wine and spirits business for over 30 years. So I am a marketing director. I open new countries, new places for brands. So my knowledge comes from there. So that's why I've been able to do so many other things. I'm a door knocker. I know how to do that.
So you were able to transition. I got
you. Yeah, so to be honest with you, I mean, it's a very fine point in marketing. How do you find the ROI, right? The return on investment for what you do. And some people really want to get that money right out. They invest $100, they want to get $100 back. It's not going to happen that way. This is an investment towards the future, towards what you're doing. So you gotta definitely have patience. And then like my acting teacher in 8th grade used to say, said you gotta be like an amoeba. If this doesn't work, you gotta be able to move around, and you gotta try different things and see if that works, and then you go to the next and the next.
Right. So, but a lot of people give up on the first thing that they don't, like we were talking about, the first time they try something that don't work, they just automatically done with it. And that's also a telltale sign that this ain't what you should be doing. Because if you're not willing to sit and sacrifice and go through all this to even have the good part, you won't have nothing to talk about what you went through because you already done gave up when you started. So
Absolutely. Look at me. I got this huge pot. What am I going to do with it?
Hey,
Balls.
The translation, it could be a rooster too.
And the thing about it is, you know what, Paul, he showed us last night, remember? He showed us.
What did he show us last night?
6 foot tall.
He showed him. No, I take the word for it.
But you know, that goes into marketing, right? Mm-hmm. So my whole idea behind that is I started in Little Havana. Okay. You know, I play dominoes there all the time. You can always find me anywhere in Little Havana. And that's where I grew the joy even more of the cigar. You know, playing dominoes with my boys, hanging out, and you know, I've got maybe a little bit of a different palate. You know, because I like wines, I like spirits.
Right.
So that helps a lot when making a cigar and blending a cigar. So the marketing is, I wanted a store. You have to have a store in marketing.
Like basically a brick and mortar, you mean? Like a.
I have a brick and mortar now in Little Havana as well.
Oh, gotcha.
But I have partners. I'm rarely there.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know, but it is kind of a store, and it's a factory, and we make cigars there. It's actually called the Federico Empire.
Gotcha.
And half the store is FP Cigars, and the other half is Federico, my partner's father.
Was it very hard to start as far as like making the cigars? I mean, like when you say, I mean, like, I'm sure you got leaves. I don't know how to make them, of course, but I mean, like, I'm just saying, was that part hard to get started?
You know, it's been a learning process. I can't tell you that that I learned it right from the bat. Okay. I got to tell you, maybe 4 years ago, I didn't know as much as I do now about the cigars. You know, like I said before, you got to take it, and you got to go, and you got to do it. You know, I go to Nicaragua all the time, and now I'm invested there, so I actually go more. And you got to know your trade. You got to know what you're doing.
Right. You
got to be able to talk to people about what you're selling. You know, and that's important. So you know, just slapping a label just doesn't do it for you. So I went out and I learned. And I came out with my core brand, which is my core products, which I call the Classic and the Bold, which is what you guys are smoking now, which is the Maduro. And I started out with that, and then I started loving so much the tobacco and getting so far into it. Came out with a sweet tip and the tip and all this other stuff. I started, you know, I call them my Frankensteins. You know, I go over there, I start taking some leaves from this guy and that guy, you know, and I start making some blends, you know, and it's been enlightening, man. It's been really nice. It's I've learned quite a bit, and I still have a lot to learn. So I may not have all the answers, but as far as marketing, it's absolutely necessary. You just gotta figure out what your end goal is, what you want, where you want to be.
Let me ask you something. Who was someone that you looked up to in the cigar field that inspired you or draw inspiration from?
That's interesting. Who do I? You know, I can't say for sure that I have anybody that I look up to. But some of the big guys, I look at the way that they market.
Gotcha.
You know, I think Arturo Fuentes is amazing in what he does. You know, and quality. You know, you talk AJ Fernandez. You know, the Plasencia guys. Those are all amazing sticks in the way that they make them, the heart that goes into it. So I look at all these guys and I study them, and then I see what they're doing. And I smoke all their cigars because I want to know what everybody likes. Why? And, you know, so it has a lot to do with that. So the reality,
you know, you taking this, that, or whatever, you create your own.
That's right. That's right. So I created my own flavors and my own feel.
Gotcha.
So but I started this business with a friend of mine. We were drunk from December 9th. Yeah, and he's like, man, you're great at marketing. You can do, you know, why don't you do your own cigar? You know, I got a hookup and I got a friend, and we can make the cigar. And that's actually what led me to even get further into the business. Because I did make a cigar with a friend, and we're still friends. but I no longer have that cigar. And everything that I sat down with this particular producer, manufacturer, and I said, hey, how about making it a little like this or change it? Yeah, he kept saying no, 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 and
Gotcha.
I'm pretty particular about what I want, the flavor I want, the quality I want, and I went out and I went. Did my
That sounds.
It's
sounds like,
it's funny.
It sounds like the same thing we were talking with David about, who got experience cigar. He was saying the same thing. Like, you know what you want, and they trying to give you what they think you should have, to the point that you're going, hey, I know what I want because I know what the taste I want my brand to come to have the taste of, and not what you trying to push up on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that pretty much what you were saying?
Yeah. Then I learned.
Gotcha.
Then I learned, and then I realized why they were pushing that, because that's what's available. You want to make a cigar? That's what's available, man.
I like that. I like
so
the way he said he started that though, because what he said actually takes it back to me and you. We used to chill in my man cave, garage, whatever, and we used to sit and sip and smoke cigars, and he used to be like, man, we do this, man, we might well try to start a podcast. And you know what I'm saying? And that's what started us.
that's how it started.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what started us.
3 months later, I took out, opened the company, did what have you, and I mean, cigars takes a long time. That cigar.
Good cigars take long.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get it right, to get the right angle, the boxes, the rings, the marketing. It's an entire machine that goes around it. Just like the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. It's not just let me just put that up
and
it's not.
Turn on the camera.
No. I mean, but when you guys got good-looking guys like me on it, it helps.
Shit, me too. Well, ain't no wrong with us being good looking.
I'm gonna tell you, the funniest part back then is the ones that really look the best. They don't have to say that. We ain't got to say that. You know what I'm saying?
What else you got?
So what would you say is the most challenging, or has been the most challenging part of starting your own cigar brand?
Oof. I'm a very picky person. So.
We gotta do like that.
I'm a very picky person. I mean, I got to tell you, in 3 years, I think, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but I think I would be much further along. Because I'm, my sales background, what I do. But I've been what we call Armando Muñeco, which is I've been building the brand and seeing what I want. I feel good now with the brand. So I've changed the boxes 3 times. I've changed the label. I've done many things. So I've been very quietly getting ready and making it, where it is now. The flavor of the cigar has always been there, and that's always been good. But the image that I wanted to portray, the first thing I did before I even started anything, when you talk about this, is you first got to do a marketing plan. You got to do a business plan. You got to see where you want to go. I have idea, and shit, nothing that I wrote down has happened. But it's okay. But it's okay.
You had like some kind of blueprint.
Absolutely. I had, and there's certain things that are coming to fruition, and they're happening. But you have to have a goal of what you want. So the hardest part for me is basically being myself. Yeah, just wanting better and better.
So let me ask you. So in this cigar market, are there companies that's trying to shut the mom and pop stores? The mom and pop stores, they try to push y'all out of the market to keep you from. You know what I mean? Is it like a bully market like that, to where it's?
I come from the wine and spirits business again, and it's brutal.
Right.
That business is brutal. So I understand when I go into a retailer and they say, I got no space. They only have, 100 feet of space that they can put cigars. So if they're going to give me 2 feet of space, that 2 feet of space has got to generate enough for them to make an income, pay the rent, pay what have you. So I take all pride and I say, hey, I got you, no worries. when you're ready for me, I'll come in and we'll do something. We'll talk. Try my cigar, and when you're ready for me, we'll do it. I'm not in a hurry. I'm chill with that, and we're building the brand, That's, my biggest problem right now is inventory. I can't keep it in stock.
So, and that's the same thing, because I was in sales, and I know what you're saying about getting spots. So you may come in there and the spot they got for you, somebody ain't been replenishing theirs. So you go, hey,
Sure.
if you ain't got, I can keep that cool. Because as any store director, you don't want no part of a space empty, because that's losing money from them. So they'll be like, hey, okay, you can have that spot if you keep it filled. You know what I mean? So I know you go through those same kind of things when you doing the cigar. They give you a certain amount of space, and somebody else is not filling that. Are you vying for those spots?
No, not really. I don't buy them.
No, not buy them, like buying for them. Basically trying to get those spots if they're not
doing their due
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, look, in sales, that's what you got to do.
Right,
you never
exactly.
get a sale on the first pitch. You got to go 3 or 4 times. So you got to keep going. You got to keep talking to those guys and build a rapport, and then talk to the clients that are there. And it's a work. It's a lot of work. But it's fun. I mean, I've been doing it all my life, so for me, it's everybody says, "Oh, you're a great salesman." I'm like, I don't know if I'm a great salesman. I just try to give you a product. It's the right price for the clientele that you have, the right flavor, the right product, and the right look in the market. If you look at my products, they're all young. I want it to be different.
Right. Stand out on its own.
Yeah. So you guys haven't seen my boxes actually. I have some back there, and maybe we'll bring some out.
Okay.
What else you got?
Okay. So as you've been learning and changing so much throughout this process, what advice would you give another person that wants to start their own brand, just from what you've learned over these 3 years?
The first thing that comes to mind is don't do it. Yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind is, I don't know, don't do it. Buy that house, go on that vacation, do all that stuff. The reality is that do it because it's a passion, because you love it. If you do it that way,
It's not work.
It's not work. I'll be honest with you. It's work. That's why I said it from the beginning. It's that I'm living the dream. I really enjoy cigars and I enjoy cigar making. So the reality is that to me it's not work.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I have other things. I have other businesses, and the reality is that I do this leisurely, and if it grows, and I have customers waiting for my cigars. And hey, look, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly.
So
how do you deal with that inventory issue?
You really can't. I think Arturo Fuentes said it best: is you can't rush the hands of time.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Who said that? Arturo Fuentes said that. I think he said it. I'm pretty sure that's.
Well, you said it right now.
There you go. Yeah, you can't rush the hands of time. So the reality is, we work with a natural product. We work with a tobacco leaf, and there's a process to it, and you can only get that leaf a certain amount of time at the year, So if you don't produce the right production and you don't have the right amount, the consistency is not going to be there.
Right.
And it's important for consistency, That's what made McDonald's great.
Right.
You go anywhere in the United States, you want a Big Mac and it's going to taste just the same.
Except in Florida, they put mustard on that shit.
Real, but yeah, that's dope. What else you got?
That's it.
We appreciate you, man, and we
We
love
thank
the
you for coming
cigars.
and
Like,
getting.
seriously.
We love you coming, giving the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Those that don't know, and especially those that be like the cigars with the paper on it still. I appreciate you acknowledging that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
still got the paper on the bottom.
He said it's okay. Just wait. The fire alarm gonna start.
I hit like on the video, right?
Oh yeah, hit
like on the video.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us all. And Fermin Perez, you can find me on Instagram.
We'll put all his information in the description. You know what I mean? He's got some great cigars.
He really did.
And we love to see people that's, you know what I mean, that's just following their dreams and going in the direction they, and not taking, you know, no for an answer and trying to figure out where they want to go, because it's really not about nobody else. It's about what you want to do. And like you said, he's got the love for it and the passion to do it. It ain't work when you love what you do.
Exactly.
Even if it ain't at the top where you think it will be there. With that being said, Stick Talk 100, A-TONE.
It's your boy Tony Escaponius.
Fermin Perez.
All right, so appreciate y'all.
Peace.